That's right. We're in the Alamo Dome. It's fight night. It's going down. No turning back from now, B.
Absolutely. You know the vibe. This is the Zone Boxing Show live.
That's right. It starts right now.
Works for me. Audio is good with the...
for us regular humans who've never done that. Can you describe it?
Ryan Garcia making his way in. The flash, you know the hand speed. You know the smile, you know the power. This kid is a superstar. Can Ryan Garcia continue his rapid ascent? The pin sends the kid down. Now we're going to see what this kid's made of.
I just want to prove to the world that I'm not here in boxing for a short time. I'm here for a long time.
Fight!
It's official. Ryan Garcia is set to return. He will face Emmanuel Tagoe on April 9th.
I'm not scared of nobody. Let's bring it.
We're live. We're here in the Southern Pacific Grill in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, for the return of Ryan Garcia. Will he answer all of the critics' questions and shine like the star that he is, or will Emmanuel Tagoe pull off a major upset? Barack, it's always a pleasure cracking this mic with you on Fight Night.
Sorry, I can't say the same. You know,
I mentioned upset. Gentlemen, in Japan earlier this morning, did not pull the upset off against Triple G. What was your take on Triple G's performance?
Well, I guess you could say it wasn't upset because it was in Japan. So I guess it left a lot of people upset. I think we seen the old Triple G rather than seeing an old Triple G. We seen that Triple G that walks his opponent down, that breaks his opponent down. But the difference is, yes, he always got hit. But he was getting hit and losing rounds. So that's the tricky part. Will that kind of performance do as good against somebody like a Canelo?
Well, you know, most people aren't seeing the subtle breakdown that I see when I see Triple G fight, meaning a stiff jab early in the fight. First round, establish a jab and a left hook to the body. I saw in the midst of him getting hit, which he normally does, he was breaking Murata down.
But he doesn't lose rounds. He gets hit but doesn't get beat up. He was getting beat up the first few rounds till the fifth round.
Listen, I respect your take. I don't agree with that. I feel like he did lose moments and possibly lost rounds, but he was breaking his opponent down, which is why we saw what I predicted that was going to happen, a knockout victory.
In the fifth round, and I told you that Murata's tougher. I told you he's tougher than that, and he's going to last longer. But we're talking about the Flash here, the Flash, Ryan Garcia. He gets guys out of there fast. Look, what do you think about this against Emmanuel Tagoe?
I think that the Triple G knockout might add a little pressure on Ryan Garcia. Look, people have been predicting knockouts for both these guys, right? There's a lot ahead for Ryan Garcia should he win this fight. We all know whisperers and rumors about who he should fight. Triple G obviously has Canelo ahead of him if he gets past Bivol, so there's a lot at stake. I think Ryan Garcia is a knockout artist. Yeah. People are expecting a knockout, especially for, you know, with a guy that a month ago most fight fans didn't know who he was.
Yeah, that's true. And the thing is, too, is the wild card is you got a new trainer. You know, Ryan Garcia is working with Joe Goosen now. God bless Dan Goosen. And he's in the corner. Not only do we want to see what he's got to wear, but we want to see what he's going to bring new to the table, what Ryan's going to do, how is he going to look, is it going to be a little difference between when he was working in Eddie Reynoso or not, and that's the question.
Well, and also, a guy like Tagoe who has nothing to lose, everything to gain, big opportunity. He's fighting a star, but he is the guy that can change his life tonight. He can change his life tonight because the lightweight division is lit, as you know. There's so many big stars in the division. Should he pull off an upset, There's money in front of, moving forward for him and big fights. So he has nothing to lose, all to gain. I think there's no pressure on Tagoe at all.
All right, there's no pressure, but you just said that he can change his whole life in one night. But what does he bring to the table? That's the thing. We was talking to Oscar yesterday behind the scenes, and he was like, oh, he's not no Ike Cortez, but
I'll tell you what he brings to the table: toughness, grit, and he wants to win. That's what he brings to the table. And if he brings more to the table, we'll see it tonight. But also on the undercard, co-main event, we got the son of a legend, chip on his shoulder, and we got the warrior. They used to call him the next Arturo Gatti. I'm talking about Gabriel Rosado, Philly's own. He's been looking good, even with the losses on his record. He's proven that he's still there. He's still a force to be reckoned with. He has to get past this young kid that has something to prove in Shane Mosley Jr.
When you're an exciting fighter, nobody looks at your record. They just look at what you do in the ring. And actually, that's your record, what you do in the ring,
Yeah, no, we're always excited to see Gabriel Rosado walk in that ring. We know what we're going to get with him.
Yeah.
All right? Now, listen, us as fight fans, we always wonder. We can only imagine what it's like to take that long walk from the dressing room into that square circle. Ryan Garcia gives us his perspective on how it feels, what goes through his mind when he takes that walk into that prize fight on Talk the Walk. Check it out.
King Rod is a superstar.
All right, folks, you know this young man right here. Right now, we are about to talk the walk to the ring from the dressing room. Ryan Garcia. Listen.
Doesn't look like it yet.
No,
this is it.
There's nothing here,
Saturday
no wraps,
night.
no gloves, but you know the feeling. This is the 22nd time that you've done this walk. When you first walk into the dressing room, before you get wrapped, before you get gloved up, what's that feeling like first stepping into the arena, into the dressing room?
I'm just balancing out my emotions, making sure that everything's under control. I'm excited. I'm feeling the energy in the room. Everything's moving, and I love it. So I just have a lot of energy going into when I first step in. I'm like, let's go, let's get it. And then slowly I start getting into my calm mode. Boom, feeling it. Play my worship music, let it vibrate through me. Just flow with it, and boom, slowly I just start picking up the little shadow boxing here and there, letting it fill up the room. I'm ready to destroy somebody. I'm going into battle. That's all I'm thinking. Like I'm just talking to God and myself, and all I'm doing is replaying what I'm gonna do every step of the way, and I'm just thinking, boom, handling every emotion, enjoying it, and just it's a lot of thinking, but it's just a beautiful thing when it all comes together.
And then somebody goes, "It's time, champ. Let's go." What happens?
You feel your little chest, little
Popping out.
Oh, wait.
Chest.
What? I'm here to fight?
Yeah, it goes, huh?
All right, well, let's start that walk
All
right
first
now.
do the, and then let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. So at this point right now, they got, I'm not sure if they started playing the music yet. I know the announcer at this point is up.
I can feel it right now.
You can feel the energy.
Feel it right now. Yep. This is the moment where you could feel the crowd lift you up. You feel their energy bringing it out, and you kind of just let it exhilarate through your whole body.
Speaking of lifting you up, at one time you came out where you were lifted up as a king.
I did too much right there. But
was that too much?
Too much.
A little too much, but everybody has those days where you're feeling yourself a little too much.
Nah, that's all good. Listen,
That puts you in the zone. There has to be a moment before you get to that area where you start to see the fans, that nerves kick in. Who am I going to see in the stands? Who's at this fight? Who's about to watch me? Moments before you get to the fans. What does that feel like?
Like right here?
Right at this moment.
You know what? I don't ever, that stuff never crosses my mind.
No.
It's like I just feel everything. Boom, I'm feeling everything. Feeling the fans, feeling myself. Just every movement I'm just feeling. I'm just, letting it overtake me. And just,
Are you thinking about the
flow.
opponent at this point?
Man, I'm doing this. I'm flowing. I got God by my side. I walk in like, let's go. Like I'm a warrior. It's like instincts, like an animal. He knows to hunt.
Right.
You don't got to
Ready
teach
to
him.
eat.
I know what I'm going to do when I go in there.
that's why your logo's a lion.
That's why I'm a lion, man.
Okay, listen, Ryan, you're a big star now, but do you remember the first time seeing your face on the Jumbotron?
I believe it was the Duno fight when they were playing the hype video, and I was like, it's my time. But the change of when I fought compared to even the next fights up was crazy. Like everybody came to see my fight, and then it's like they disappeared for the next two, and they came back for Canelo.
Well, listen, let's take me to this moment right here. Like I said, this is the 22nd time you've done this, but you hadn't had many main events. We were there when you fought Campbell in Dallas. You were the main event. The crowd was lit. This is about to go down Saturday again. When you step out here, tell me about this feeling when you hear the cheers. People love you, Ryan, but you have a job to do in that ring. How do you show love but stay focused at the same time and not say hi to everybody while you go into that ring?
Well, you got to understand that, like I was saying, it overtakes me. So I do enough. So I'll say, boom, do my little touch, but at the end of the day, I already know what I'm gonna do. I'm in there. I'm so locked. I feel everything that nothing can really throw it off at that point. I feel like this fight's gonna be like when I enter the ring with Fonseca. Finally, I have everybody coming in, and a moment like that where it's so special, and the timing, everything's gonna be there. It's gonna be very amazing what you see in there, I promise.
So this is not nerve-wracking at all? A lot of fighters have told us so.
No nerve-wracking, no nerves, man. Like I said, I was designed to do this. I am this. I am a battle warrior.
All right, so you said when you was getting carried in like a king, you said you was doing a little bit too much. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it was
a lot
cool.
of good fighters did it. Can we get a hint on what you're going to do this time?
Yeah, Mayweather did it, I did it.
Right.
Prince Nassim.
Prince Nassim?
No,
even
I'm
Tyson
coming
Fury?
in straight in.
You just coming straight in?
Straight gangster.
All right. No music? I know we're going to get some music.
I don't need music, but I am going to come out to my normal superstar, Lupe Fiasco. Gonna just keep it classic.
Is that like your anthem?
That's my anthem.
You know what?
usually.
I like that. Barack, you love that when fighters stick to one script. So let's get closer to the ring. We're walking closer, inching closer at that square circle.
Wow.
At this point right here, you know you're about to walk up those stairs. Do you step up and then look at the crowd before you step through those ropes? Always.
Yeah,
And what's that? What are you thinking at that moment?
I hit the steps, boom, 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 bang. Show love, boom, step in, go right to my prayer. Boom, hit the corner, hit my knee, say my prayer, get up, get ready to go, bounce around. My coach.
Can you share that prayer with us, Ryan? What do you say to God at that moment?
Whatever I feel. I don't rehearse my prayers. I let it come to me. All I do is think about now, looking at him a little bit, boom, give him a little shake. No, I'm coming for you. Then now is when I'm really relaxed. The only time I get a little nervous is when I hit those steps.
Look back at the
But
crowd.
it's not nervous. It's just the natural reaction your body's gonna produce.
Do you envision what's going to happen in the ring?
Not at this point. Now I'm ready to just do what I always do. Right off the get-go, let's go. Boom, and then I'm feeling good. I already feel good.
By that time, forget it.
You know, as
already fighting.
Game over, like you said.
Game over.
You ain't going nowhere now. You better might as well do the best you could do.
As a fight fan, what I get excited when the announcer announced the fighter's name, the fighter that I'm wanting to see, or, wanting to see do well, and they say your name. What do you feel like when you hear Ryan Garcia and the crowd cheers?
Awkward. I'll be like, man. Y'all can say my name. You know what I mean? I don't care what my record, I don't care nothing. I'm just ready to dog this dude. Whatever he got.
What round is he going out? Because you've been picking rounds. You pick other people's rounds.
I do. But you know what?
You're going to do it again right now.
I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to say this. 1 through 3.
Woo.
For sure. 1 through 3. And it's going to be a shot you don't expect. It's going to be a right hand, not a left hook. I know you guys all think it's the left, but you're going to see this come to live. Saturday night, you're going to see this is different. Let's get it. I'm ready.
And that's the talk about this walk to the rim with Ryan Garcia. You don't want to miss it. April 9th is going down this Saturday, baby. Here's a guy that knows a little bit about those ring walks to these prize fights. And Drip is always on 1,000. Saucy, our guy, Jojo Diaz.
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Good. Look, lightweights, we're talking lightweights. Lightweights are popping right now. So you came up weight at a great time right now. Ryan Garcia has been off for a long time, so I want to jump right into some Ryan Garcia talk. You know what it is to take layoffs. He has a lot of pressure, I think, with the change of trainer and the layoff. What's going through Ryan's head right now?
I just think that what's going through Ryan's head is that he has to execute a good game plan. He has to go out there and look phenomenal, especially with a guy like the opponent that he's having. He wants to make sure that he goes out there and looks, puts on a great performance. I think with Goosen, I think it was a good decision with him because he's already trained with Goosen in the past. I mean, I've seen him when he was 16, 17 years old, training at the Goosen gym already. So he already has that similarity with his trainer. So I think that was a good move for him. But like I said, man, it's a very important fight for him and his career to go out there and look phenomenal tonight.
All right, well, you're looking good, man, and you out here in San Antonio. Have you ran into Ryan yet? Have you been face-to-face since you guys been going back and forth on social media a while back?
To be honest, no, we haven't, man. So, like, when I see him, I want to see what his energy is like, if he's, trying to, press the action or if he's trying to be cool or whatever.
You're looking for problems.
I'm looking for some problems tonight, dude.
Well, but how do you approach, how are you in terms of who you're rooting for in a fight like this? We all know you're Mexican-American, like Ryan Garcia, so there's that attachment, but there's a little bit of bad blood. Who are you rooting for tonight?
I mean, there's no hate. There's no hate. I don't have any hate towards Ryan. I mean, he's a phenomenal fighter. He's a great person. He's done a lot. He's very successful in his life. So I'm rooting for Ryan, man. I want him to go out there and, really look good and put on a great performance tonight.
Let's talk about another lightweight, all right? We're talking about Devin Haney, who you shared the ring with. Finally got the opportunity. It's been a long road for him to unify that division against Kambosos. Yeah. A lot of people are saying, including Ryan, that lightweights are licking their chops because they see Kambosos as an easy win. Do you think it was a fluke against Teofimo Lopez, or is he the real deal, Kambosos?
I don't think it was a fluke. I just think that there was a lot of things that happened that night where I think Teofimo took him lightly. I think that he tried to knock him out at first, and he blew his gasket, man. He blew his gas, and he ran out of gas. He couldn't. He had Kambosos hurt in like the 8th or 9th round when he was already dazed and stuff like that, and discombobulated. But he just couldn't. Teofimo just couldn't. He didn't have that energy anymore. So, I mean, all the guts and all the glory to Kambosos. He ended up winning, and right now he is a shot caller, but. Like I said, man, Kambosos, he's a solid fighter. He has a big heart. He's a very, hard worker. But I don't think he has the skill to, keep those titles for a long time.
A lot of people are saying that, but tell me if I'm wrong. He just mentioned Devin Haney, and I saw your whole energy change. You want him badly. Am I right or wrong?
Who,
Devin Haney, yeah.
Oh,
I saw your whole energy change when he said, I was like, what happened?
Yeah. I mean, me and Devin, we fought already, man. But like I said, I think I didn't execute the way I should have. Overall, I think I am the better fighter. But he had a good game plan. He executed that night, and he came out victorious, man. And he did what he had to do. And now he's fighting Kambosos, and I think he's gonna, win Kambosos and. Hopefully, after everything's all said and done, I could get either a rematch with Devin Haney, man. I'll love that.
Let's get back to tonight. All right, Ryan Garcia. Should he get past Tagoe? I mean, a lot of people didn't know much about Tagoe until this weekend in their little, quarrel in the media workout. If he gets past him, who would you like to see Ryan fight next?
I would like to move me, man.
There you go. Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get out of you.
Put him in the ring with me, man. I'll take care of him.
But you might have a fight in July.
Yeah.
There's talks, there's rumors. It's not official yet, but it's looking like it's going to happen.
Yeah, so the fight, my next fight is looking like July against that Irish prick, Jonah.
Whoa, Carol.
Yeah,
he's a southpaw like you.
Yeah, man. I just want to punch him in his face, man.
He got a lot of momentum right now.
He
He's on a win streak right now. He's looking good.
He is, man, and that's all great to him, man. But when it comes fight night, I'm just gonna manhandle him.
So wait, why did you just call him that? I mean, what kind of dealings y'all have between each other we don't know about?
I mean, we don't have any beef, but he tried to call me out on social media. So
what did he say? For those that didn't see,
he tried to act like King Kong or something. I think his nickname's King Kong or something like that. So he ended up calling me out, saying that he's ready to fight and let's get it on. So I was like, all right, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Apologize for the profanity there with that word. But listen. Who is the best lightweight in the world? All of you guys say it. When I ask Devin, when I ask Ryan, we ask Tank, they're the best lightweight. Who do you think, honestly, is the guy to beat in the lightweight division?
Right now, to be honest, man, with the credibility and everything, I think Devin Haney. Devin Haney is.
That's strange because you probably would have said Teofimo before because he beat Lomachenko, and now that Kambosos beat Lomachenko, you still say Devin Haney.
Well, the reason why I don't consider Teofimo any the top contender anymore is because I think he should move up in weight.
Right.
I think he should move up in weight. I think like his body is just already getting depleted where he can't make 135 anymore. I think 140 pound would be better for.
But what I'm saying is, if George beat Teo and Teo was the guy on top because he had all the belts, he beat Lomachenko. Lomachenko was the top guy. How come you're not saying George? You just straight away saying you see Devin Haney's better. He won against you. So you just see he's better than George Kambosos.
I just think that overall he's just a better fighter. I think he's a better fighter overall as far as, boxing, being precise with his punches, analyzing everything inside that ring. I think Devin Haney is the overall better fighter over Kambosos.
All right, now it's time for Choose Your Fighter with Jojo. We're going to put him on the spot. We need some predictions from you. We're going to start off with what's going down tonight in the main event. Ryan Garcia versus Emmanuel Tagoe. Do you see an upset?
Hell no. No upset. I think Ryan's going to sleep on probably in 6-7 rounds.
Shoot, I don't even know why I should ask him this. George Kambosos versus Devin Haney. We already know.
yeah. Devin Haney, unanimous decision.
All right, let's talk about hypothetical fights. Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia.
That's a good fight. That's a good fight because Ryan Garcia, he's longer, he's rangier, so it'll kind of be like a little a confusion for Devin Haney because he's used to fighting smaller guys and fighting guys that he's able to keep at range. So I think it's a 50-50 fight, but I think that Devin Haney will have a smarter game plan going into the fight and execute well.
Wow, okay. We're talking about the co-main of tonight, and that's Sugar Shane Mosley Jr. versus Gabriel Rosado. What do you think?
That's a good fight, man. That's a good fight. I seen both the Gabriel Rosado and Shane Mosley, grow up together and stuff like that. So just seeing them fight, it's an intriguing fight, but I think Gabriel Rosado is going to put hands on him.
All right, this one is not going to be easy. I'm going to put you on the spot. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano.
Damn, man. I'm gonna go with Serrano, man. I'm gonna go with Serrano. Just the way she conducts herself and her lifestyle and everything like that. I'm rooting for her.
All right, we got a fight here in May. It's Canelo versus Dimitri Bivol. Who wins?
Canelo, stoppage. Yeah, easy.
How you saying easy? It's 175 pounds.
I just think that, to be honest, Bivol, he's one hell of a fighter. He's good at fighting on his range, but I just think that Canelo, he's going to fight on the inside. And once he gets on the inside, he's going to land some good body shots where he's just going to break him down.
All right, now, if Canelo gets past Bivol, we all saw Triple G get past Murata, and they fight in September. Who wins the trilogy?
That was actually a good fight, man. Triple G, he looked solid. He was taking some punches. He was delivering a lot of shots. But yeah, you can't go against Canelo right now, dude. Canelo, he's overall just the better fighter. Very, very elusive, very defensive. Has good offense. Knows how to counter right away. So I got to put my money on Canelo.
Here's another stupid one. Ryan Garcia versus Jojo Diaz.
Jojo Diaz stoppage, easy. Easy.
He said stop it.
Stop it. I'm knocking that motherfucker out.
Excuse the language once again. But listen, here are two brothers. They got a lot of momentum. They don't have the same last name, but trust me, Franco and Rodriguez. Check it out. All right, we got a hold of these two San Antonio brothers, Jesse and Joshua. But I want to ask you a question that I was confused about for a very long time, because they call you Jesse Rodriguez, even though you're a Franco brother and you're Josh Franco. Why not just say Jesse Franco? Talk a little about that.
Well, when my mother was pregnant with my brother Joshua, my mom and my dad, they weren't really getting along. So
damn, you got into their business.
Well, that's how they became fighters.
And then I guess my mother's parents sent her to Dallas or something like that. So when my brother was born, they still weren't, on good terms.
Oh, okay.
So my mom was like,
"Get that Franco."
Yeah, you're gonna keep Franco.
Rodriguez.
No, he's Franco. He's Franco's.
Oh, he's Franco.
My mom's Franco.
So even on your birth certificates.
Yeah, on my birth certificate, I'm Rodriguez and he's Franco. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's how it worked out.
Yeah.
All right, well, listen, y'all both champs right now. WBC, you're the world champ. You're the WBA regular. You both in line, really, to fight the same guy, because he's the franchise champion, WBC, and he's the WBA champion, the super champion. That's Juan Estrada. Who deserves the fight most? 1, 2, 3. Raise your hand.
My brother. Cool. He's already the mandatory, so, it has to happen.
No doubt.
So, the rumors are that you moved up and stayed up because you want to fight your brother. You tired of getting from those back in the day when you guys was young. But let's be real. Like, I had a brother growing up fighting. I was a little bigger than him, but we always competed. Who hits harder?
No, I would say my brother hits harder for sure. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Do you guys spar?
Yeah, we spar. We help each other out sometimes, and I'm telling you, he is pretty hard.
Crack?
Yeah, he could crack.
Well, listen, you told us, Jesse, that you said, you know what? I'm going to go up here, I'm going to fight Quadras, I'm going to beat him, but I'm going to go back down to the weight class that I want to win a championship. Now you like, hold on. I like it up here. But it's two of y'all. Is it going to be enough competition for both of y'all to reign like the Klitschko's did?
Of course, there's 4 belts in the weight class, so 2 and 2 would be fair.
So it's not because you like eating a little bit more and you're tired of trying
that
to make
too,
it.
That too. I don't like.
You're about 130 right now.
Yeah, well, 140 probably.
I mean, has it ever got heated though, sparring between you guys? Because I talk to the Charlo brothers and they say sometimes it gets a little
different than these.
I don't want to spar anymore.
You know, Charlo, stay mad. Stop it.
Have you ever got to that point?
Nah. Whenever we spar, I don't even like to hit my brother hard, and it's the same. He don't like.
Oh, you take it easy on you. That's what
he's
saying.
Not even like that, but he's the same way. We've always been like that. We've been close brothers, and we don't want to hurt each other.
Who's some of the fighters that inspired you? I mean, one guy that I always think of as a kid. I mean, I'm a lot older than you guys. Was Jesse James Lehas from San Antonio. He was such a warrior, and you still see him today. He's still sharp. I mean, but in your era, when you guys were kids, who inspired you guys?
Nonito Donaire.
Yeah, one of my favorites. Yeah. Definitely one of my favorites. All right, so what's next? What are they promising you? Which fight? I'm gonna start with you.
I haven't heard anything yet, but I'm hearing sometime in June.
Okay.
No opponent yet, but.
Mr. Franco, y'all cousins, right? Now brothers, right? Joshua, what about you?
I'm not too sure either. Maybe sometime in June as well. I'm hoping, but I'm ready for for whatever.
Joshua, what was your take on Chocolatito's performance? He's a guy that people felt like, is he over the hill? Then he proved, recently, a lot of people felt he won that last fight before this last one, but he's continuing to prove that he's still one of the best fighters in the world. What's your opinion on him?
I think he is one of the best fighters in the world still. He proved it his last fight. He looked real good. He looked sharp. He went distance with the young, hungry fighter in Martinez. So, he's still right there. He still has it.
How do you beat him?
I can't say that. Only I know, So.
But you see holes and flaws that you can exploit.
Of course.
Well, he's been beaten before. He's not unbeatable.
Yeah, but he's still.
But he has some momentum right now.
Yeah, he sure does. All right, so who's the best in the division besides yourselves? Who's the best in the division? Either him or Estrada?
I would say Estrada right now because he has the titles and he has a belt. So you can't put him.
I would say Chocolatito because I believe he beat Estrada that second fight.
Yes.
If you get a call tomorrow and say, hey, we got a Chocolatito fight for you, no questions asked, you're taking it.
Of course, that's a living legend. So to be in the ring with him, that'd be dope.
What if you guys both fought on the same night? You ever think about that? I know the Charlo brothers did that one time. A couple times they did. It was beautiful.
I believe that's what they're trying to do. That's what they're working
Who gets the main event? That's the real question.
Yo, you guys are some humble guys. For real, man.
Listen, let's talk about this weekend. Ryan Garcia took a hiatus off of the sport for mental health issues. He's back now, new trainer. What do you expect from him, from his career? Because there's a lot outside the ring that he does, social media star, but in the ring, does he have a prosperous career?
Of course, he has the power, he has the speed, and he has a following. And, he's an exciting fighter, so people are always going to want to tune in and see him fight.
Can he beat those top lightweights that people want to match him up against? The Tanks of the world, Teofimos of the world, the Devin Haneys, Cambosas. How does he fare against those guys?
I believe he beats him. All of those fights, they're 50-50, I believe.
Joshua, you say the same?
I say, he has, if he stays focused and, he stays in the gym, stays dedicated. He has the skill, he has the power, like my brother said. He has the talent. He could be any of those guys if he stays focused.
So, Joshua, you don't give Tagoe any kind of chance besides a puncher's chance?
Teofimo?
No, Tagoe.
Against
Tagoe is the guy that he's fighting. If you know him, Emmanuel Tagoe.
I'm not too sure. It's boxing. Anything can happen. It just all it takes is one punch to change a
fight.
But
he got a slim chance.
He has a slim chance, for sure.
Look, something about the greats. Most greats always moved up in weight, right? Obviously, you're doing that. How big can you get, Joshua? What's the maximum you see yourself? Featherweight?
Maybe, like featherweight. I wouldn't say no more than featherweight.
No more than feather. Yeah. And yourself?
Probably like 130, 135.
See, he likes to eat, man. He likes to eat.
I'm only 22.
The hell with that 118 and 122, man. I want to eat. Well, listen, looking forward to seeing both of you guys in the ring, both exciting fighters. We love to watch you, and good luck moving forward, man.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
All right, we're joined here one of our favorite guys from Barstool Sports, and I think he works for Dazn too. I see him on Dazn all the time, so I'm going to call him a colleague. Large.
Make me an offer. Coming. Yeah. How you guys doing?
Good. Barstool will never give you up. Never give you up.
Listen, Large, I mean, look, the talk of the town is you getting beat up by Canelo Alvarez. You spent some time with him in training camp.
Yep.
I know what the power feels like. Barack and I held a little pad for him before, but it looked like it really hurt you. Let's be honest. How hard does Canelo really hit?
Can I defend myself a little bit?
Sure. No, you can't really. All right, go ahead.
Eddie Reynoso is 5'10".
Right.
I'm 6'5", maybe 6'6".
Yeah.
Took the belly pad off of Eddie, put it on me. So then I have plenty of soft tissue. It was up around my sternum. So when Canelo goes, I'm not throwing my left, it's tender. So it was all right hands down Main Street. And it started I thought it was going to break a rib. I mean, you can see from the thing, I started crying. I haven't cried in a while, you know what I mean? But yeah, it is one of those things. Yeah. Just an emotional thing. So he hurt me physically. And he hurt my feelings also, so I'd like to officially announce that I am launching a huge lawsuit against Canelo and anybody who I can blame for it. But it was good. We got such great access through the zone and whatnot, and I got to feel the power. And I would say at 3/4, what he was throwing, he is absolutely devastating. He's devastating.
I want to say two things. First of all, now that I know that you're in a camp and you're training Canelo, I'm going to bet against him because he's probably going to lose.
Yeah.
And you just gave away something that I don't know if you realize. I mean, look at you. This is you getting hit right here. I mean, this is scary right here. But you said that he said his left was tender. Were you even supposed to give that away like that?
I think one of the things, too, is he said he doesn't trust me to not move. So he also didn't want to work the left. And that's why he didn't go really to my side either.
Yes.
Because, and I was jerky. I mean, I was pulling away, and then he had a group of his friends around that were laughing loud. You know what I mean? So it was pretty distracting. It was pretty emasculating. So no, I don't think I gave up the ghost on that one, but maybe I did.
I mean, look, I know you spent time with Canelo before, but you spend more time than ever before during this training camp.
Yes.
I'm assuming. What's your take on when it's time to train seriously? What is Canelo like?
One of the things that disturbs me about Canelo is that a lot of the answers to his questions are, I don't care. Like, this guy is bigger than you. Right. Yeah, I don't care. This guy has the reach. You shouldn't be fighting a 175. You know, all these other questions, it's, I don't care. And at some point, that'll catch up to him. Like, someone will teach him to care, that size matters. Something I've been trying to tell my wife, it doesn't. But him, size matters in the ring. And I think, I'm very nervous about this fight. This is a top 5 as far as difficulty for him. I think so. So I'm very nervous about this fight. I like Canelo in it, but I just need him to care about some of these little things, especially if he goes up.
You don't need him to care. Back in May, you were saying he should go up the cruiserweight.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't care about Canelo.
Which isn't that crazy anymore, right? I mean,
it's not as crazy. It's still crazy.
It's still crazy.
But it's just funny hearing that from you. All right, so let's go to Brooklyn now.
Yes.
April 30th, Madison Square Garden. First time ever women headlining the bill. Amanda Serrano versus Katie Taylor. What do you have to say?
I like Amanda. I know you're not looking maybe for a prediction, but I like Amanda a lot in this one. I got to meet Katie for the first time during that first press conference, where it was like Jake Paul taking all of the focus and Eddie, like it was the Jake Paul Eddie show, but there were also 2 world-class fighters there also. Yeah. I like it being almost like a jump ball as far as, betting line is concerned, but I like Amanda Serrano a little bit more because Katie's never felt anything like her before, and I think Amanda has been here in this situation. But the fact that these guys have the main room in Madison Square Garden, my hometown, is very, very exciting for me. And I'm looking to promote it and a hell of an undercard. It's going to be a hell of a night to be in New York City.
Oh, no doubt about that. Tonight, we're in San Antonio.
Yep.
Alamo Dome. The return of Ryan Garcia.
Yes.
Look, you spend time with Eddie. You know who he is as a trainer. Obviously, Ryan had issues with Eddie, and he's with Goosen now. And he's been out the ring for a long time. But he's fighting a guy that we really don't know.
Right.
Do you expect Ryan to blow him out of the water, or with all of those little, issues?
Intangibles.
Yeah.
I know him now. So Tagoe has spent some time with us.
Yes.
And I got to know him a little bit, and I got to be honest with you, I love the guy. I think he's an absolute sweetheart. So I think from a personal, people haven't really cracked the nut till you guys recently got to him, but we've been with him for a couple
I wasn't
weeks.
cracking nobody's nuts.
Understood. I'm all over his nuts.
All right.
But even though I like the guy, I don't think he has a shot. So I think Brian's going to come out, show that he hasn't lost power in this layoff, because sometimes you got to get your power back. Show that he hasn't lost power as 23-year-old come back after 15 months, unlike Triple G, who needed 4 rounds to get it going a little bit. You know what I mean? So I think Ryan comes out early. I think the over-under is 4.5, and I think I love that under.
Large, you're an official, I would say you're an official hardcore boxing fan. The eyeball test. Is Ryan the real deal? Is he a superstar? Will he beat the top guys at lightweight?
One of your social media guys had asked me that a month ago, and I said, that's why we're having this fight. Because I just don't know if that, the mental issue that said he needed to take care of himself, because when you get knocked down for that first time, which he did, that's a seminal event for any kind of fighter. And now we're going back to Jump Street. It's like he's almost starting over. So until I find out how he does with a little bit of hardship, I'm not putting Ryan Garcia in the top 5 in that stacked division. There's no way I'm doing it yet.
Still has a lot to prove.
A lot to learn, yeah, and he's got some time to do it, but I need to see the level of competition go up, and he's got to show me something tonight. He's got to knock him out.
Here's another guy that has a lot to prove. Chip on his shoulder, son of a legend. We chopped it up with Shane Mosley Jr.
All right, we still in San Antonio. Listen, Ryan Garcia is not the only guy fighting this weekend. This young man, son of a legend, creating his own legacy in his own right, Shane Mosley Jr.
Thank you for having me, fellas.
Listen, I want to talk about your opponent, Philly Warrior. Battle Test has been in there with everybody. When you first got the call about Gabriel Rosado, what was your first thought?
Yes.
Right away.
Right away.
Nothing.
Yes.
You've always proved yourself to be that kind of guy.
I mean, why not him?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to be in here, if my goal is to be a world champion, why not fight this fight? You know what I mean? He, like you said, he's been in the ring with everybody. I want to be where he's at and further. So, like, why not be in the ring with him? Why not learn from him? Why not be tested by him?
A lot of sons that are sons of legends always have a chip on their shoulder. Not that it's a bad thing. Do you think in those tough moments in a ring, that's what gets you through those tough fights where you're constantly wanting to prove that, hey, I am who I am. I love my pops. He did what he did, but you're going to respect me.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, not in those exact words, but, something along those lines. Of course, I want my work to show. You know what I mean? This is why I chose this game, because I wanted to be a world champion. I want to be seen in this light. I don't care what he did. He did what he did, and that's great. I love him, and it gave me a great life. But I'm here to make my own.
Right. What he did really can't help you inside that ring at the end of the day.
No, it can't.
Exactly.
No, it can't.
And that's a good thing. But listen, we spoke to Gabe last week, and he was like, he was like, Shane Mosley Jr. is not on my level. How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, he can feel however he wants to feel. It don't matter to me. Like I said, I can only control what I can control, and hopefully after this fight, he has a different opinion of that.
We were in attendance when you fought Quigley.
Yeah.
Very close fight. A lot of people felt you won that fight.
Yep.
Could have went either way. I didn't really score the fight, but I know it was a tough fight for both of you. What did you learn and get out of that fight?
I learned I have to stay consistent. I learned that I have to better show my my grit later on, and mainly just stay focused, man.
Are there new things that you're going to show us come Saturday?
I mean, I feel like a lot of people have always said about me that it seems like he loses focus midway through fights, right? And for me, right, because if you look back at the Quigley fight, the first couple rounds, easy to score.
Yeah, that was you.
Right? And so midway, things like that, it seemed like I changed. You even noticed that, like, he doesn't do anything different.
Yeah.
I changed.
So would you blame it on your focus?
Of course. It's my fault.
Right. How do you change that?
By honing in, by practicing, by all of those things. You have to as a man, you have to take responsibility for the mistakes that you made. And I could say that I made a mistake. Yeah, whether it was close or people thought that I won, that doesn't matter to me. I don't care about that because it doesn't matter because that's not going to help me grow.
Absolutely.
Somebody's opinion of me is not going to help me grow.
Sometimes that stagnates you.
Exactly.
You know?
Sometimes that's why people say a lot. I learn more from my losses than my wins.
Did you get a call from your father after that fight?
Yeah.
Had a conversation. What was his advice?
You know, he felt that I won the fight, and he just was kind of like, keep your head up and stay focused. You know what I mean?
Every time you fight, who do you want to prove things to the most? Yourself, family? There you go.
This guy.
No doubt.
This guy. So like I said, he can have whatever opinion he wants. That's Gabriel Rosado.
Yeah.
And I respect that. You know what I mean? And it's my job to do my best.
Speaking of opinions, what is your opinion on his last outing?
I thought he's great, man. I love Gabriel Rosado. I think he's a great fighter. I think his career goes against everything that our modern boxing world looks at, right? Because everybody wants to protect their own and you can only be great if you have, no losses and all this other stuff, right? What we've learned from Mayweather, but his career says opposite, and I love that. Because guess what? I'm 17-4 as a professional. I look up to that because at whatever his record is, I think it's like 25-14 or something like that. He still wants to be a world champion,
and people still want to see him fight.
Exactly.
You know why? Because now I'm not saying you don't have this. Neither. I think you do. It's the heart that he shows, and that's something that you show no matter what. So as long as you show that, people going to be wanting to.
Exactly.
Since you stepped in the sport, there's a light shine on you because of your last name. So there's always pressure. I want your opinion on the young man on the main event, Ryan Garcia. He's not the son of a legend, but he was big on social media. Big light shined on him. He took a hiatus, mental health. I want your opinion on that young man, and what do you expect to see from him on Saturday?
I love Ryan Garcia. I expect him to be a great in the sport. I truly think he's going to be a great in the sport. I truly believe in him and think that he's going to be the next, dare I say, golden boy, right?
All right. Well, on that note,
so I expect a win and devastating.
Well, listen, I'm looking forward to that co-main event with you against Gabe, man. It's a pleasure chopping it up with you. Good luck on Saturday, champ.
Thank you.
You going to steal the show?
I plan to do my best. No doubt. If that steals the show,
so be it.
Yes, sir.
Look, we're cool with a lot of people in this sport, but only a few we can call our friend, and he's a legend, our guy, Bernard Hopkins.
Good to see both.
Did you wake up early this morning to watch Triple G Murata?
After you jogged 15 miles.
Yes, I did work out, and I won 15, but I did watch the fight. And you want my opinion, I assume?
Yes.
Triple G is, at that stage, what I see, definitely not the same fighter 4 or 5 or 3 years ago. For him to fight Canelo would be basically Canelo, I guess, satisfying his dreams or something for the third fight. I don't see him even competing at the level that he did in the first fight and the second fight, from what I've seen.
But I mean, he
did
break Murata down. I mean, he was landing body shots, stiff jab. Maybe Murata was just that good, and it took him that long to get him out of there.
Good, yes, but not good enough to beat him like he did. Well, with Canelo the first fight. What I'm saying is that Canelo, I see, it will beat Triple G based on what he did his last fight. But when I see Triple G fight this morning, the clippings of it, it wasn't the Triple G that I expected. I didn't expect a knockout early on, but I expect from looking at the fights with Canelo and then seeing him now and the fights in between, which won a lot, I don't see that being a fight that people would be like, oh, I want to see the third fight of Canelo and Triple G. Not based on the performance this morning.
I don't know, maybe we could say ring rust, but of course, first thing we're going to think of, he's 40 years old, but he did break him down. He did get the stoppage. That was one half of what we needed to see the Canelo trilogy anyway. Because of the other two fights, people are going to just ask for it. But let's talk about tonight, the main event. Ryan Garcia, you're always truthful no matter what, whether it's your fighter or not. Ryan Garcia versus Emmanuel Tagoe, is there any intangibles, in any kind of wild card or anything?
Yeah, I mean, you're dealing with two fighters that don't want to lose. They know how important that this fight is tonight. Ryan Garcia has something to prove, and it's not, I don't believe it's just to go out and win. I think he wants to win spectacular. I think he wants to show people that not only am I back, but I'm back for business, like the big names that we're going to probably talk about. I know we're going to talk about. But he cannot sleep at 1 second on his opponent, because Ryan is at a time right now, either he goes to the next level or he one-hit wonder in popularity, right, and also in his career. He must win tonight, but he must win to the point where people will be like, oh, wait a minute, this is something different.
How's
Not
that for
normal,
honesty, right?
but something different. But something different. Like,
right,
he has to show something different. And that's a lot of damn pressure on a 3-year-old, 20. Like, that's a lot of pressure.
Talking about something different, I mean, he has a different trainer. Bernard, you've been around the sport for so long. You're a trainer, a fighter, historian. What is it like for a young kid like that, and the pressure that he has today, to prove to everybody that he made the right decision in switching to a new trainer?
On top of what I just mentioned, you put that on top of it, it's like it's a different level of in the bell ring tonight, because he's gonna have to represent that. He's gonna have to. Right now, he got to put his grown man pajamas on.
Did he make the right decision, though, based on what you know about Joe?
Yes, yes. He made the right decision with Joe because of the experience. That's key. He separate the trainer from the teacher, right? And not even the coach. There's a difference between trainer and teacher. Joe is in the conversation of Freddie Roach. You understand? Yes. And senior, Floyd Mayweather Senior, right? And the fruit, I can name a couple more. Right. But these are the names that you got to separate them. You got to separate them from trainer, right? Trainer can train you how to fight, but a teacher can teach you what to do, can teach you things that it's going to help you down the line in fights, but it's going to start here because you need it now. Right. This is teaching. And so Joe Goosen is another, I guess you can say, if you look at it, another threat to any opponent out there for Ryan Garcia in the future.
You remember Ryan Garcia was calling out Tank, maybe even years ago, maybe it was premature, who knows, but if he is able to get rid of Tagoe tonight, would you say, because I know Oscar would say it, but would you say he's ready for Tank?
I'll say absolutely not.
That's why I asked you.
Not yet. Not yet. I don't see the build-up. I think Ryan winning this fight here shows that he's ready for the next level, and that next level is not that same caliber of the fight if he gets past, right? Yeah. Tonight.
Yeah.
He's going to have to go ahead and establish himself with a threat, a real threat. Everybody's a threat, but this is a threat to the next level to get to Tank. Mm-hmm. I want to see one more quality.
Would George Kambosos be that?
I love that fight.
There you go. I got you.
I love that fight, because that fight to me would be a stamp of approval that, like, yo, he beat this guy, and we seen what this guy's done, right? We've seen what he can kind of smoke he can bring. Yeah. So now we talking about, Ryan, this puts you in position where now nobody's talking about your layoff. Nobody's talking about your mental. We're talking about you beat two guys in less than a year, spectacularly. Mm-hmm. And now you got an opportunity now to call out Tank and have credibility. To call him out now, they think it's a payday.
Speaking of Tank,
it'd be a payday if you call him out now.
Bernard, is the lightweight division the most talented division in boxing? I mean, just to remind you, Lomachenko, Devin Haney, Kambosos, Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia, is it the most talented division in the sport?
Jojo Diaz.
Yes.
By none, yes. It's back, to me, it's back to the Ray Leonard, the Roberto Duran
era.
Beat Benitez. For Benitez. We can go all the way down. I can name a Philadelphia guy named Kevin Howard. He got beat up by Sugar Ray. but that's because of Philly. I had to mention that. But listen, this division, the 40, 47-pounder, woo. Yeah. I mean, you got to understand, these two divisions can they can merge together at any time for any big fight that we might be thinking that is impossible. They right there. Yeah. You take the junior out of there and keep it original. We was only 47
when the
then
smoke,
it would fit,
when the
fit
smoke's
160.
clear, when the smoke clears, who's going to be at the throne at the lightweight in the lightweight division?
Ryan Garcia.
All right, I like that. You still promoter. Still got a promoter. All right, but listen.
I ain't going to sleep at the table. Ryan Garcia.
Do you think
when the time comes, will execute?
All right, after the commercial. No, listen. Do you think that Gabriel Rosado versus Sugar Shane Mosley has a chance to steal the show?
He has a chance to steal the show, but he's going in there with a guy that inherit pedigree of Sugar Shane Mosley. Now you got to prove that he deserves it.
I like that.
You can inherit anything, but if you believe you're not really worthy and you got to live up to that, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I like Rosado.
Yeah.
In a really exciting fight because of Shane Jr. pedigree. He's not going out. He has a lot to fight for. Pride.
Yep.
Right? First pride and the name. That's all tied in. He's attached to that. That's him.
Yeah.
No, he has a lot of talent still in the sport, still thriving.
Told you we was going to get truth from this man.
Here's a young kid that he's not a surfer. He's not a R&B singer, though he looks that way. He's a killer in a ring from Brooklyn, New York. We chopped it up with Nikita Ababe. Check it out.
No, we're not in Brooklyn. We're in San Antonio. We just found this dude here. We ran into him, Nikita. White chocolate. They still call you white chocolate?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They put an APB out on you.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, they was like, where is he at?
Where is he?
What you doing here?
I mean, hey, talent can take you this far, back at home. But it's like, coming out to San Diego, training with Ryan, just like you just pick up so much new, like just the secrets of boxing. You know what I mean? Just like something that like is just. It's just New York.
Taking you to that next level.
Just New York is just they don't like it's just different. You know what I mean?
So you've been friends with Ryan for a long time since he beat you up in the amateurs way back in the day.
Hold on.
I was there for that fight.
No,
I'm lying. You saw his face like, whoa.
You were like 9 years old or something like that.
We were like 9, 10.
That's little kid stuff. It don't count.
It was a good fight, but I didn't even know how to wipe my back in the day. So it's like, hey, we're really good friends now. So it's like I don't even know. Can we run it? Like, can we run it back? But it's like,
different.
It's
160,
different.
135.
It's different. But
you look bad.
He told us he wouldn't even spar. You guys are close.
we can't. Yeah, we can't. Yeah, no, we know each other for such a long time, and it's like, even like we know each other for such a long time, and like we never really like hung out like that. But we always clicked. You know what I mean? We seen each other, and it's like.
Good
we
vibes.
just connect. It just good vibes is just not even a word. You know what I mean? It's like we just really like click. So it's like. I was going through a lot back at home, and I was like, I'm not gonna fold. You know what I mean? I have to I know I got the star power potential. I got everything, and it's like everything was going up, and you hit like a roadblock or two.
What was that though? Can you talk about what went wrong or what held you back home?
It's just I see I gotta be more vocal. I'm just a guy, I don't know, I see how everybody, posting on Instagram and this and that. I'm not good with, talking about, my problems. I'm a guy, I'll just figure it out on my own. I'll let people talk, let them do whatever. And it's and I know I'll never give up. I know I'll make it out, my situation. And, even after I make it out my situation, it's everything happens for a reason, you know what I mean? I don't need to talk about it. So it's I went through a lot, and I almost lost myself. I'll be real, you know what I mean? It's even hard to talk about this right now. So I was it's just I could not give up. I knew that. I just couldn't give up. So I sat, I had to figure it out. And then, I called my boy Ryan, and it's we talked it up, and then it's all family, it's family at the end of the day, and they really looked out, so.
You see how you came out here and it was therapeutic? No man is built to do anything alone. I know you feel tough or whatever. You don't have to say it publicly. Never go through it alone, even privately. You know what I mean? Because we only grow in with others. We don't grow in isolation, no matter what.
No, it's gonna be. I'm gonna definitely learn that as time goes by. But it's just, it's easier said than done. It's just a mental, I grew up like that. You know what I mean?
The same way.
I would train 3-4 times a day, and it's I would have a pain. People, I just learned to, it's a normal thing if you have it. I have pains all over my body, but I'm so used to just, it's a normal thing. You probably have it. You probably have it worse. Sure. She probably has it worse. So it's it's just dog work. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't know.
You coming from New York got a pool of talent. But you said something earlier. You said it takes more than talent. What's the difference working out here with this camp with Ryan?
Just the mentality, just the dog work that we put in. It's just the little secrets. It's just the way you gotta actually like live, eat, and breathe boxing. Like, I'll be honest, like I love New York. Like, New York is like, it's family, and I always got them. Oh, I got their back all the time. Like, but it's like, at the end of the day, if I lose in the ring, who gonna want to be with me? You know what I mean? So it's like, who gonna me after? You know what I mean? Excuse my French, but nobody messing with me after. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I want to get my family back at home. You know what I mean? So it's like, I gotta find a way to learn. I gotta find a way to
felt
expand.
like you needed this though. Like, I mean, you
Yes.
reached out to Ryan because Ryan's been vocal.
Yeah.
Unlike you, he's vocal about his issues and he dealt with it. So you felt like he'll be able to relate to you.
We're
and
also
that's why
we're just on a parallel. Like, we go through the same thing. Like, it's just the same thing. Just I got blonde hair. He has like dark brown hair. Yeah. Like, and it's like, again, like, it just always like we always like mess with each other heavy. Like, we never like talked like that until like I reached out. But it's just, we're just the same person, just two different color hairs. And
Talk about the training part of like what Ryan, how much has he grown as a fighter since the Campbell fight? We know he took a hiatus, but then he's locked back in. You are part of that camp right there. This is a very important fight for him, his comeback fight. What do you see different in Ryan? And talk about how he looks in the ring.
So I haven't seen, after the Luke Campbell fight, I haven't seen what he went through. Like, we talked about it and stuff like that, but just the way I seen him locked in this camp, it's inspiring. It's just, and that's what I needed also, just like seeing, just living, eating, breathing, boxing, you know what I mean? It's just like we were locked in, you know what I mean? We were just, like we would run, there's no breaks in between. We would eat on the way, right back to work. Right back to work.
You trained with a whole lot of other guys. Is this the hardest you've ever worked?
This is the hardest I've ever worked from all my fights. All my fights. And like, I started going through things like, I would say right before when I fought in LA, under the Logan Paul, the KSI thing. And like, that's where that's why, I took a little break, but it's just for the sport, you gotta be mentally straight.
So is Ryan gonna win big on Saturday night? Big knockout?
What's like the betting websites? Round 1 to round 3. When is he gonna get that knockout? Yo, right before round 3, I'm telling you, bet that house. It's gonna be a knockout.
So if I'm homeless afterwards, I'm coming to your house. I'm letting you know that. I'm letting you know I'm coming to your house.
Yeah, you're not gonna be homeless. I'm telling you, you might get 2 houses now.
Well, listen, cool. Before we get out of here, when should we expect you back in the ring?
Hey, super soon. I'm working on it right now, but don't blink. Because you guys think like you guys seen explosive before.
Different.
It's going to be a different
level.
It's going to be a different.
Right.
It's going to be a different.
Yeah. White chocolate.
Humble guy, White Chocolate. Here's another humble guy, but he ain't too humble in the ring, coming off a big knockout victory. Alexis Rocha.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Thank you.
All black, everything. I like the fit today. You're fight night ready.
Fight night ready, baby. Let's get it.
Speaking of fight night, look, let's talk about what's going down tonight, all right? Ryan Garcia, long layoff. I'm asking everybody pretty much the same thing. New trainer.
Yeah.
Does he do what everybody expects him to do and knock Tagoe out?
I believe so. I mean, Tagoe's a good opponent for him. Definitely a good opponent for him coming back after a long layoff like that. But I definitely do see Ryan getting a good night tonight.
Let me talk about you. You know what I'm saying? Let me talk about you, man, because that was just last month. It was March 19th.
Yeah.
You did what you said you was going to do. You went in there with a guy who talks a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was looking flashy in all his other fights, but you did exactly what you said you was going to do. How do you feel coming off that feeling? Has it hit you yet?
Yeah, I mean, with all this recognition that I'm getting, it's the recognition I deserve because I've worked very hard for this. But like you said, I did what I was going to do. I had to go in there, follow my game plan. I executed very well, but I'm feeling very great.
You realize that you kind of did a few fighters a favor. There are a lot of guys that are upset at him.
Everyone
I'm talking about Errol Spence. I'm talking about Boots Ennis. They all wanted to do what you did.
Yeah.
You kind of did them a little favor. And do you see Blair Cobbs being able to come back and compete?
Yeah, I definitely do. You know, Blair, give him much credit. You know, he does his talking outside the ring, and that builds up excitement, builds up fan base. You know, he talks a lot. He talked his way over here to get in a fight with me. But you know, you're talking like that, and you're fighting lesser opposition. I told him you haven't fought anyone like me, and I proved them right. You know, proved myself right Saturday night. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think Blair can bounce back.
You know, one thing I like about you is that, you know, I asked, you know, Blair, he wants to fight Spence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He want to fight everybody, and you were like, you know, I like the proper progression that I'm doing right now. I want to step it up. I'm not saying I'm ready for that. I'm still learning.
Exactly.
So give me some names.
I mean, Michael Mckinson's one of them. You know, they threw in undefeated from UK. He's not very well known in the US, but if it's him, you know, I'm willing to take it to UK. I'm willing to travel all the way over there. If they want to bring it to, you know, our backyard, then, you know, it doesn't matter, man.
You mentioned Spence, and we talked about Spence. So he has a big fight next week ahead of him in Ugas, where a lot of people are picking an upset because Ugas we did with Manny Pacquiao.
Exactly.
Errol is a different type of animal, but does Ugas have what it takes to upset?
I believe he does. You know, Ugas upset Manny Pacquiao, and after Manny Pacquiao had a long layoff, similar like Errol Spence, Manny Pacquiao showed that his father time cashed up with them. But I definitely do see Ugas giving Errol Spence few hard work, little complications in the beginning of the fight, but then after that, I see Spence wearing him down.
All right, well, that same night, same division, Conor Benn is fighting, you know, over in the UK. Is that kind of like your level where you think
I mean,
you're at?
Oh,
like
definitely.
maybe, let's say if Conor Benn gets this win against Chris Venier, then would you look for a fight like that?
Oh, definitely. I definitely want to challenge Conor Benn. I want to challenge myself. You know, that's the level that both of us need to improve on. You know, we both need to elevate our game up, so I believe a fight with him would elevate my career up.
Would you say, look, he has a chip on his shoulder? Like tonight, later on tonight, Shane Mosley Jr. has to follow a legend. He's been proving that he's creating his own path.
Yeah.
In your opinion, is he past that shadow of his father, Ben? Is he his own man now in the sport?
Yeah. You even know his father, Nigel Benn?
No.
Tell the truth.
No,
I knew. Look at that.
When they said he had a father, I'm like,
we all got dads.
We all got dads. But I never knew. You know, my respects to them. But
look him up.
I'll look him up after this.
Nigel Benn.
But yeah, I've heard Conor Benn since he hit the radar. I believe he started competing at 135, and then he slowly progressed his way up to 147. But yeah, I've heard of him for a while now. Like I said, that guy's definitely on my radar.
How long before Roach has a title shot or wants a title shot?
Yeah, I mean, I want to keep building my name up, man. I want to keep this momentum going.
So you're going to take your time, 2023?
Hopefully, early 2023.
Early?
Yeah, maybe mid. Yeah,
not too far.
Not too far, but I want to take my time. I want to be very active this year. I want 3 more fights this year, God willing.
All right, so this fight right here with, let's just say that Ryan Garcia gets past Tagoe.
Yeah.
Who do you think he should look at in that division, in the lightweight division? It's stacked, probably the most stacked division.
And the thing with Ryan, he's a superstar now. He has that fan base. He has that. He has that step to move forward faster than, you know, sadly to say it's than me, because he has a fan base. You know, he has the young crowd. He's got the Instagram crowd, the TikTok crowd.
People discredit him because of that. Like, oh, he's an Instagram star. Everybody wants to be
as long as you put butts to the seats, man, that's what sells.
Yeah. It's business.
It's business. End of the day. End of the day, it's business. And Ryan Garcia does very well at it. He's become a superstar off that.
He's good enough to fight all these other guys. What about talent-wise?
Talent-wise, I mean, I'm not going to throw him in there with Tank. I'm not going to throw him in with Teofimo Lopez.
Well, not ready?
I don't think he'll be ready. I think he'll fight another former world champion after this. And then from there, see how he does with them, knocks him out. Hey, go for Tank. Go for Kambosos. Go for Haney, you know?
So he's not even ready for Kambosos, you're saying?
I mean, after a long layoff, let's see what he does tonight.
Speaking of Kambosos, Devin Haney, how does that fight play out in Australia?
I mean, I know Haney. I've been in the amateurs with them. We traveled overseas many times. I think Haney pulls off the upset. I think he dethrones the champ. If he stays boxing him, I don't think David Haney's gonna want to trade with them. If he trades with them, that's gonna be Kambosos' fight. Kambosos wants that. He wants to be trading. He wants that dig in deep. But I think Haney's gonna want to use his jab, move around, because he has a perfect jab.
All right, before we go, who's the best lightweight in the world right now?
Damn. I don't know. I mean, the one that has all the belts, right? Kambosos.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
He did throw in Teofimo Lopez, and that was the boogeyman of 135 pounds. He beat Lomachenko, who was also the, you know, everyone's passing the torch. You know, it was Lomachenko, Teofimo, Kambosos. So it's very hard to say right now.
All right. Cool.
All right, listen, we chopped it up with this young lady. She's very small, but she packs a big punch, Marlene Esparza. Check it out. All right, fight fans, here in the Alamo Dome with WBC flyweight champion of the world, Marlene Esparza. What's going on?
Just here, ready for Saturday. Just soaking it in.
Why are you smiling though? Like you're the only one that's making weight, but smiling and
no,
happy,
don't worry.
legitimately happy.
Don't worry.
She's
don't worry.
She's
You don't
angry.
know
She's
me.
angry. Oh, you mad? But,
no, I'm always, have a touch of mad.
No,
but don't worry.
Now I know you were born in Houston, so San Antonio is not your hometown, so to speak. But we're in Texas, right?
Correct.
What does it feel to fight in Texas?
Well, I love fighting in Texas any which way because it's home. But being so close to home is kind of the more important thing. I would love to be in Houston. We're trying to get there, but right now, it's 3 hours away from where I'm from, so that's nothing, but a jump and a skip away, yeah. So a lot of people are coming down to support, and for me, just being in Texas, period, it gives that same feeling, that same atmosphere. And I was born and raised in Houston, Texas, so I feel like the greater idea or greater cities in Texas know me very well.
All right, you're a hometown girl then, but do you feel like a champ? Are they treating you like a champ?
Yes, I would say so. I do feel like a champ. I think that's why this fight is going to be, even more important. My team, my coach, James Cooper, we've put in a lot of work and to really change my style and how we do things. We've made a really big statement on my performances these last times. And I feel like now I am the champion, and I think this next belt, and with the Ring Magazine belt on the line, I think that this is really going to solidify who I am.
Some fighters, it's a little pressure. They feel a little pressure when they're fighting at home or close to home because there might be some friends, family members, just people that know them that are coming to the fight. Does that put any pressure on you?
I feel like there's always pressure, but I would agree with the home thing. Yeah. My thing is that no matter what, I always want to win, right? I don't care what's on the line, what's going on. At the end of the day, I just want to prove there's nobody better than me. So as long as I keep that idea in my mind, I don't care if there's nobody in the stands or everybody in the stands. At the end of the day, all I'm trying to prove is I'm better than you. And as soon as I just go there, then none of that matters.
But does the crowd give you a certain amount of energy when you're in that ring and you hear the people cheering? If there's an exchange there where you landed some big shots, does that inspire you?
I try not to let that be a thing.
So you block it out.
Right. All I can hear is my coach's voice.
You can hear your coach's voice through all of that.
That's all I hear. I don't really hear anything else.
They're not supposed to scream louder, coaches. They're not allowed to. Your coach doesn't give a damn, right?
No, he does not care. He yells loud. But the whole idea of letting the crowd drive you hasn't really set well with me because if there's no crowd, like COVID, then it could mess you up.
Good stuff.
So I really never even got into it, and nor do I wish to. And I'm really good at really just zoning in on what's happening and really just listening to my corner.
All right, so where do you rate your opponent, Fujioka? Where do you rate her, as far as your other opponents?
She's going to be the most difficult one. Yeah. She's the one that I have in front of me. Yeah, definitely. She's the one in front of me right now. She's who I need to focus on. And she's been a world champion, 5-time world champion. She's strong, she's aggressive, and I'm really not looking past her in that way. Right now, she is the obstacle, and she is my problem.
Look, you've been putting in work for years. Women's boxing is at a place right now where, we haven't seen in years with Katie Taylor about going to fight Amanda Serrano, big event, New York City. I mean, they're pretty much sold out the Madison Square Garden. We all saw Clarissa and Savannah going back and forth. That's going to be a fight. How do you feel about being a part of women's boxing at this moment right now?
I'm really happy to be here. I think that everything with my career and how it's taken off, I was born at the right time and fell in love with the right sport. But I'm just I'm glad that I could play a part in the whole idea like I have. And really just, work with everybody and we're all trying to do the same thing. It doesn't matter who doesn't like each other. We're all on a mission together. Everyone's on a mission together, and trying to just make sure that we get where we want to be together as a sport.
Who wins that fight?
Man, see, that's so difficult.
Give me a little prediction. Give me some. Give us an exclusive.
I'm not lying. I really have this conversation a lot. I don't know. Serrano's a puncher. She's difficult to handle. She's talented. She's aggressive. She's a lefty. Then you have, the boxer. So it's a boxer puncher situation. But has Serrano ever seen anybody that could box like Katie? Has Katie ever seen anything like Serrano?
Wow.
So those are two factors that you really have to play in as far as what Katie's talent brings to Serrano as well, and what happens to Katie when she gets hit by someone that punches like Serrano.
So if somebody forced you to pick a winner, though, could you? You're leaning towards
if
somebody.
If someone forced me,
yes.
like I'll give you
I'm like, no, we're forcing it.
I would have to say Katie. And I wish Serrano the best, absolutely.
You're talking to two Brooklyn people.
Hey, I wish her the best.
We love you, Katie, but no,
Katie,
I'm just kidding.
That's been my people for a long time. I think she's a great fighter.
She's great. You just did all of that analysis very well. You waiting for DAZN to say, come on, you need to be on the broadcast. What's wrong with you?
I've been saying that. You guys need me. I know my boxing.
You know what you do? You do a face-to-face with Estrada while she's doing the broadcast. You know what I'm
I'd
saying?
love to do that. Because I've heard her stuff.
Is that something that you see after boxing?
Definitely. It's something that I'm really interested in because not only do I love talking about boxing, but that's how I learned a lot growing up, watching old fighters, like new fighters, everything, and really knowing the history of it, what it is, and who does what I want to learn. And then along the way, I learned as I started to take so much, it took so much toll on my body. I realized, man, I really, really like this because I get the intensity that I get with the boxing and what to think and how to move, but without actually having to put the punishment on my body.
Right. But you're the only fighter out of your family, right? You have brothers, but so who are you debating with in the house watching fights? Like, because I grew up debating.
My dad, okay. My dad and myself.
All those Mexican brothers, and you was beating them all up. Huh?
Yeah,
none of them jokers could fight.
Well, they could. They just didn't like it. It takes a special. You got to be a little bit off to like boxing. Yeah, to want to be hit like that. So it's different. But my older brother likes music, and my younger brother likes cooking, so it's a bit different.
So if you study this all of this time, growing up, who did you look up to?
Oosh. So there was just different.
Oosh? What's that?
No, I said like oosh. That's a hard question. But because there was no female fighters that I was really always seeing, I tended to make like one boxer that I liked, but it was not a name. It was like I took a little bit of Sugar Ray Robertson, Sugar Ray Leonard, a little bit of Salvador Sanchez, some Muhammad Ali, a little bit of this, a little that, like
sprinkles,
and kind of try to form this person that I really wanted to become.
Well, this person is exciting to watch, and we're looking forward to you on Saturday night. Good luck. See you on Saturday, champ.
Thank you.
Okay, it's a great sit down with Esparza. Here's a young lady who doesn't get along with her and shared the ring with her.
Crazy, she loves her.
Nisa Estrada, welcome.
Thank you.
Listen, you're part of the broadcast now. So you're in the fight meetings and all of that. Do you think that maybe it's a little awkward having you there asking her questions?
It was a little awkward yesterday. I stood quiet. I didn't say much, but it ended up getting pretty heated in there. So.
What happened?
Just,
back and forth.
Back and forth.
Who started it?
Sergio Mora started it.
What are you talking about?
He initiated.
He likes to fight girls? Sergio? Is that what it is?
He just asked the question that you shouldn't have asked, and it kind of got heated from
Listen,
there.
a lot of people feel that when fighters start to broadcast, start to work on the mic and dress up, they soften up a little bit. They don't want to get gritty in the gym.
I'm already soft anyway, so that's not the problem. No, but boxing always comes first. I'm always ready to fight. I'm always in the gym. I'm always prepared. So, yeah.
But do you see yourself, later on after boxing, cracking that mic and doing it?
Yeah, definitely. I would love to. I would love to do it for a living. I have fun doing it. It's great. Yeah.
More checks. Hey, listen, what do you think about Spazzer versus Fujioka?
Yeah, I think Fujioka is very experienced. She's been around for a long time, but I see Marlene winning easily. I think she's a lot quicker than Fujioka, so she's going to be able to use her footwork and her movement to just easily box around her the whole fight. So I see her winning on an easy decision.
I'm excited about women's boxing in general. Obviously, we know what's going down on the 30th of April in Madison Square Garden. I can't get anybody to give me a solid prediction. Everybody is saying 50-50. When I tell you everybody, it's tough. Everybody.
I don't think I can give you a solid prediction either. I try to replay the fight in my mind all the time, but
well, tell me this: if Amanda wins, what does she have to do right? And same thing for Katie. What does she have to do to pull the win off? game plan wise?
I think Katie just has to be herself and use her volume punching. She throws a lot of punches and good combinations. I think she just has to do that and use her amateur experience of having, that good footwork and movement to box around Amanda, because Amanda's a power puncher. But I think if Amanda does land a good shot, I don't think it would phase Katie too much. I don't think it would be enough to hurt her, just because, Katie can take some good punches and she's experienced as well. So it's a 50-50 fight for me. I think they're both skilled and they do things very well in their own way.
Absolutely, both of them. Now let's talk a little bit about you. Now you just said that Amanda's a power puncher and Katie, she's fast and elusive, but what kind of boxer are you? How would you describe yourself?
I would describe my style as just being, I can do it all.
You water, you just flow. You can do it all.
Flow. It depends on the opponent sometimes. Sometimes I prepare for a certain style and I fight a certain way, but overall I think I could do it all.
But what's your favorite way of fighting? I see you put pressure, I seen you box, I seen you move.
Yeah.
You're a power puncher, I would say.
Thank you.
What's your favorite way of fighting?
Yeah, I feel like I'm barely able to show that I'm a power puncher since signing with Golden Boy, because
that last fight,
yeah, and I've always known I've had that power. But in the beginning of my career, I was always fighting so out of my weight class. I was fighting girls that were 3 weight classes above me, so I was never able to show that power that I do have. So now that I'm fighting girls on my own weight, I'm able to show that. So I of course want to go in there every fight and try to get the knockout. So
you're exciting to watch. I mean, do you think that women are finally getting that light shined on them? And we talked about Amanda. How do you feel about what Jake Paul is doing for her and women's boxing?
I think it's great. I think at first I was kind of weary about it. I was like, okay, this guy, he's coming into boxing. It's kind of making it, a joke in a way. But he's done very well for Amanda, and I think it's great for women's boxing. Whatever he does for her and however much exposure she gets, it's going to help all of us. So.
Well, I don't know if you're going to work the broadcast. You probably are, right?
I think so.
April 30th?
Oh, April, I'm not sure, but I'll be there for sure.
I was about to say, if you weren't, would you still go there?
Of course, yeah. I will not miss that.
Well, guess what? Marlene Esparza wants to fight you. She wants a rematch. Did you look at it like, yeah, I got to fight her, or, oh, please?
I mean, I do want to fight her again, yeah.
Why?
Of course.
Why? No, you're saying, of course, you beat her.
Why? I know I beat her, but I know it would be a big fight in women's boxing. So
you think maybe there's still questions because of the cut?
There's questions for her, but not for me. I mean, it's obvious she quit, but that's kind of what we got into it about yesterday. But
all right, well, after that, a week after that, we'll be in Vegas. Yeah. Canelo moving up to light heavyweight again to fight Dimitri Bivol. Most people have him as the favorite, but is it dangerous? Is that a dangerous fight for Canelo?
Canelo is the best in the world right now. I don't see anybody beating him, but it is a tough fight. It could be pretty dangerous for him just because Bivol throws a lot of punches. He's very volume of punches, and he can fight pretty well going backwards. He throws a good jab. So it's definitely some things that Canelo hasn't faced yet, but I don't think it's going to face Canelo anyway. He'll figure it out, and he'll win.
Yeah, but you said, you're fighting girls that are way above you, so you can't get the knockout. That means, weight classes mean something, It
does, but Canelo's so skilled, it doesn't matter.
Got you.
Yeah.
Skills pay the bills.
I mean, I fought way out of my weight class, but my skills got me the win, and I think it's the same for Canelo. He's a beast.
Well, that's going down on May 7th here. Another few fights, upcoming fights, going down on Dazn.
Let's get ready to rumble! Now, entering the arena, the Destroyer, Ben.
Ripping work here from Ben.
Serrano. The real deal strikes again.
You can see the fire in Katie Taylor.
Is the most dangerous opponent for Canelo.
Canelo Alvarez, this is a champion in his prime.
Beautifully timed right uppercut from Craig Richards. First blood to Joshua Buatsi.
The fight starts now!
When you were a boy, Ryan, they wouldn't even let you in the gym. our own gym. You're proof, Ryan, that champions can come from anywhere. It's not about where you're from. It's about who you are. And what you're prepared to give. There are times you might feel like you're facing your demons alone. But we are always with you, every second, every session, and every step.
I know that hook. I know it. Punch is coming. Oh, there goes mine. Come on, little bro.
You're just a kid from Victorville. You were never supposed to make it this far. But you know what, Ryan? We're not done yet. The next generation of kids like you can see that it doesn't matter where they're from. Or what they have.
That's it, just like that. Okay, he wants you to pick up your right hand and throw that hook.
They can become champions too. Remember how hard you've worked and how far you've come. Now enjoy every second.
Here we are. This is our night. I asked you just to protect my son, protect the other fighter, and let's just become victorious in the end.
Now show them you deserve to be here.
To show your support for Ryan and train like a champion, go to gymshark.com to check out the latest apparel. You've seen these guys go back and forth on jabs and on the broadcast, our guys, Sergio Mora, Chris Mannix.
Let's just start an argument right now. What can we talk about? Gervonta Davis? What? That's our argument.
Oh, we could do that all day long.
All right, listen, Ryan Garcia, come back. Let's jump right into that. We'll talk Canelo and a few other things. From what you guys seen all week from Tagoe, has a lot of confidence, but is that going to translate to him being successful in the ring? Sergio, I'll start with you.
Well, listen, confidence is a big part of being a fighter. But if he can bring that weird style that he has an unorthodox style. He trained really hard for this fight. He's a veteran. I mean, he knows how to make fights ugly. So he believes in himself. There's an opportunity of a lifetime. Sometimes you can believe him, but right now Ryan Garcia has some red flags.
So in other words, you don't believe in Tagoe.
I don't believe Tagoe, but I believe the red flags. I believe the red flags.
What are those?
Ryan Garcia's coming off of inactivity. Well, both of them are. Yeah. But the hand injury, the change of trainer, the chemistry that he has to build with Joe Goosen. So these are things that are questions up in the air. So if you have one fighter that's totally confident in Tagoe coming to this fight, and Ryan Garcia that still has some questions with a new trainer, hey, listen, we can dig deeper and deeper and find something. But no, I consider Ryan Garcia the favorite.
But how do we just talk about the hand injury? Remember when you faked that leg injury against? I'm just joking.
That's something he would say.
I don't think that's fair.
That's something he would say.
I did that for him. I don't think that. But I'm just saying, can we just say, the hand injury? If he's saying that it's better, come on, right?
No, look, the hand injury and how he uses it and how active he is with it, we'll know that in the early rounds. He go to that right hand and throw it with the kind of ferocity we've seen him throw it in years past. The first few rounds of this fight are going to be very interesting. When I talk to people in Tagoe's team, they're very concerned about Tagoe underestimating Ryan's power. And when we talk to Tagoe in the fighter meetings, he just doesn't think Ryan has real power. Meanwhile,
or speed.
You talk to his manager. It's more about the power, though. Like, you talk to his manager, Peter Kahn, his trainer, people in his team. They all know Ryan has real power. So they are nervous about the first 3 or 4 rounds. If Tagoe gets through those rounds and takes that power well, they believe he can win. They believe he has that, all the things Sergio said, the awkward style and the ability to throw from different angles. But those first few rounds, he's going to get hit with something, and they believe he's underestimating what he's going to get hit with.
But Chris, if Ryan does indeed have that explosive power that only a handful of fighters really have, the Trinidads of the world, the Mike Tysons of the world, I mean, can Tagoe take it? Can anybody take a hard shot? I mean, outside of Chavez and maybe Triple G.
He has power, but it comes behind speed. That's what surprises fighters. It's the speed power.
Yes.
You know, most people have that heavy-handed power where you can expect it. You know it's coming. You know how to, kind of brace for it.
He say slow, but it hurts.
There you go. Like, I fought a guy, Alfredo Angulo. This guy could punch through a wall, but he's slow as molasses. So I could see it coming. I'm like, there's no way that's going to hurt me. And then once it hits, it's like, wow, that hurt me. So the slingshot power of Ryan Garcia surprises people, so it just short circuits them. It's power, it's speed, it's just how precise it is and the timing of it. That's what makes his power so incredible.
He hits you the right way. Nobody stands up to it, not in the lightweight division and on down. And it is the speed. I mean, you go back to the Fonseca fight where, Ryan's talked about this. He had his hands up briefly to get Fonseca to commit, and in an instant, he turned that into a left hook that put Fonseca down for the count. When he stopped Luke Campbell thought that punch was coming upstairs. He put his hands up thinking Ryan was going for that same exact shot that clipped Fonseca. He went downstairs and landed a body shot that an excellent fighter like Luke Campbell couldn't get up from. So if Ryan lands it correctly, not this guy, not any guy at lightweight can stand up to it.
Well, speaking of any guy in lightweight, we know how you feel about Tank Davis. He's your favorite fighter.
Yes, Leonard Ellaby would agree with you on that. I've had an interesting Twitter week with Leonard Ellaby.
Oh, my God.
But is Ryan ready for Tank now? Years ago, we said it was too early.
Why wouldn't
he
be?
ready?
Ryan's got a more quality win than Tank Davis.
Well, Bernard Hopkins just said that he's not.
Look,
so did Alexis Rocha.
His co-promoter, and Bernard Hopkins said that Ryan Garcia's not ready.
Yes,
he said he should.
Well, I'm not saying he's not ready. I want a crisp perspective.
All due respect to Bernard, it's now or never for these two guys. Look, Ryan's fighting this fight at 139 pounds. You talk to Joe Goose and you talk to Ryan, they say they can make 135, but he's not long for that weight class. And yes, we've seen Tank Davis fight at 140 before, but he's not a real 140-pounder. This fight needs to happen in the 135-pound division. And Ryan's fighting tonight. You got Tank Davis fighting in May. You got some issues perhaps between Tank and Mayweather that could lead him to have some more avenues to getting a big-time fight against Ryan. It's got to happen now. And I don't know why. Look, Bernard sees more than I do. He has a better boxing brain than I ever will. But Ryan, 15 months ago, beat Luke Campbell. And Luke Campbell is an excellent fighter. That is an excellent win for Ryan Garcia. If he comes through this test unscathed, I see no reason why that fight against Tank shouldn't happen in September or October.
And the way he beat Luke Campbell says something as well, especially when Loma couldn't get him out of there. Okay, so what about this? Because this fight kind of surprised me to see Gabriel Rosado facing Sugar Shane Mosley. It came out of nowhere. He just fought 5 months ago. 5 months ago before that as well. Do you think that has a potential to steal the night, Sergio?
No, I don't think so, because Mosley, he gets caught in between styles. He could look really, really good, or he can look really bad. There's something where he's missing a gear. And Rosado, he won't take chances unless he needs to take chances. So I pretty much think no. I don't think we're going to see the Warrior in Rosado. We're going to see, that's what I think.
I tend to agree with. I think you need to be the kind of fighter that brings the Warrior out of Rosado.
I was about to say that until you interrupted me.
We're not going to say that. Munguia is the kind of guy that brought out of Rosado. I don't think that
Mosley's not going to be able to bring that out of him.
I will say this about Rosado. Like, I love Gabe Rosado. He reminds me of Glenn Johnson. Like, the way he just keeps picking himself up off the proverbial canvas and getting back into the mix. He wins this fight against Shane Mosley Jr. There could be other big fights for him at 168 pounds. Maybe he fights Demetrius Andrade later this year. Maybe he fights Jamal Charlo. If he gets a win against a reasonable name like Shane Mosley Jr., he is going to be right back in the mix at super middleweight.
But speaking of bringing the Warrior out of a fighter, we all saw what happened this morning in Triple G. He brings the Warrior out of everybody, and including Canelo in that second fight. Should Canelo get past Bivol? How excited, Sergio, are you about the trilogy? Canelo.
Well, how are we just going to say that? Should he just get past Bivol?
I mean, we'll get to the Bivol fight. But right now, we just coming off of Triple G's win.
Yeah, but look, Golovkin, we know he's 40 years old. He looked like an older version of a Golovkin. He was still mean. He was still powerful. But it was a good fight.
People keep saying that, but I just saw him break Murata
Obviously,
down.
you're
with the
wrong.
jab. No, I'm not wrong. It's my opinion.
He did do that. He broke him down, but
he
he's
got
saying
hit
that
body language.
He's saying Triple G always takes shots. Yes, but Triple G doesn't always lose rounds,
Right.
and his body
he lost
language
rounds
was
against Murata.
getting hurt to the body.
And he was actually kind of worried about getting hit with that body shot again. Murata had a great game plan. He backed up Golovkin, which is not easy to do.
Yeah.
He was aiming for the body. He was hitting him with the short right hands. Murata had the right game plan, but to do it for 12 rounds, that's really hard to do against even a 40-year-old
Somebody
monster.
who hits that hard.
Exactly. So the power doesn't fade. We know that Golovkin has power, but more impressively than that, Golovkin could take a punch. We've never seen Golovkin hurt upstairs. I mean, no one's ever hurt him up to the chin. We've seen him hurt to the body, but Golovkin could take a big punch, and we know he gives a good punch. So at 40 years old, he's still dangerous.
Chris, Triple G did his job. Does Bivol have an opportunity to upset the apple cart here?
He has an opportunity. Dimitri Bivol is very good. Like, he's going to operate behind a jab all night long. He's got real power behind that right hand. What I'm curious to see with Bivol is, does he engage in ways that no fighter in the last, since really the second Golovkin fight has been willing to engage? Guys just try to jab with Canelo Alvarez, and that just doesn't work. You can't beat Canelo Alvarez only operating behind the jab. You've got to stand in the pocket and throw right hands at him and get his respect. And that's easier said than done, because you have a guy with blinding speed who hits like a truck coming back at you. So I think Bivol's going to give Canelo problems, but I'm still waiting to see who that guy is that stands in the ring and trades with him, is not named Gennady Golovkin.
All right, time for a little game we like to call the fill-in. So we're gonna put you guys on the spot real quick. I'll start with you, Sergio, really quick. Garcia Tagoe will end in round blank.
9. And I think Garcia stops him in 9, but it's going to be I think Tagoe gives him issues early.
Okay, that was a good one. Chris, this is for you. Blank versus blank will steal the show tonight.
I still look. It's still the main event.
Of course.
I don't. I think Mosley Rosado is an interesting fight. I think the women's fight is excellent, especially since it's a unification fight. But Ryan Garcia. Nobody's stealing the show from Ryan Garcia on his game. It's not happening.
No doubt, Sergio. Blank should be Ryan Garcia's next opponent.
Tank Davis. We all want to see him with Tank Davis. Ryan Garcia wants Tank Davis. It's a fight that can actually happen. It's a perfect fight for everybody.
And these guys will have their
and it's
Tank
pay-per-view
Davis jerseys on.
and it's a pay-per-view
And
type
my
fight.
fitted cap.
I fitted cap.
There you go.
You know, the difference is that we actually love these fighters, and you don't like them.
I like them. I have no tolerance for fighters that won't fight other top fighters.
I have no tolerance for him. I have no
and nobody
tolerance for him.
should. Nobody in boxing should have that tolerance. I could sing an aria on this all day long.
Okay, next question, Chris, is for you. Blank has the best shot at an upset tonight.
I mean, Mosley Jr. has probably the best
That would be an upset.
It would be a slight upset.
He's the favorite, I think.
No, I think Gabe's the favorite in this one.
It's
all that experience, you just figured Gabe would be the
you
favorite.
Think so.
at
Like,
least.
I think that's the one. Look, Gabe, when he does box with guys, it's not his most successful strategy. I mean, he believes to his core he won the fight against Daniel Jacobs. It wasn't a great fight one way or the other. So I can see that fight, getting a little bit ugly at times, and a guy like Mosley pulling off the upset.
All right, this next fill-in is for both of you, all right? Which is the hardest question for the last month, the last 30 days, everybody would ask. April 30th, blank will win between Taylor Serrano.
If you asked me this question before the wars, I would have said Taylor. But I think, at this point
When you say wars, you're talking about Pursoon?
Delphine Pursoon. I think those were physical fights, and at this point, I would give the edge to Serrano. But if Katie Taylor could pull out one of these fights where she's using her boxing ability, not standing in front of Serrano, staying off the ropes, boxing like the boxer that made her special early with the speed, not engaging. Yeah, I could see her pulling it off, but for right now, Serrano by a little bit.
I lean towards Katie Taylor in this one, and largely I agree, Sergio. She's been in some wars recently, but there are levels, I think, to boxing. I think Katie Taylor's on a different level than anybody else right now, especially in that lightweight division, specifically when it comes to 135 pounds. Everybody talks about Amanda Serrano's power, and it's excellent, but most of her knockouts have come under 130 pounds. If you're going to get in the ring and say Amanda Serrano's going to hurt Katie Taylor, you have to show me evidence of where she's done it before.
If Katie Taylor,
fighters on that
Katie
level
Taylor
at that
can
weight class.
keep the fight in the middle of the ring, then I agree with you. I think the world of
Why
Katie
wouldn't
Taylor.
she be able to?
because
You guys need a
Serrano's
room here?
power.
You need us to leave here?
Serrano's power, especially to the body from that southpaw stance. I mean, you have to get her respect. So it's going to be hard for Taylor to keep her in the middle of the ring.
You're talking about opponents that she's faced that are
Come on, back me
Jabs on the show today.
Welcome to Jabs.
It's a special edition of Jabs.
Like Amanda Serrano, excellent Hall of Famer, like 7-class world champion, deserves all the credit for that. But at 135, where are the knockouts? Where's all the power coming from at that weight class? Katie Taylor is a legitimate 135. She walks around at 138. This is her weight class, and Amanda Serrano is migrating to it. So I think that's going to be the thing that's not talked about enough going into that fight, the physical size advantage of Katie Taylor.
I hear you.
We're going to see the fight so soon. Next question. This is going to both of you as well. Dream fight of 2022 will be blank versus blank.
Canelo Beterbiev. I think Canelo Beterbiev is the most destructive fight you could possibly make. It's going to be another weight division that Canelo could possibly unify. That's going to be a dangerous fight.
He has to get past Joe Smith, and Canelo has to get
Yeah, but I think that's...
That might be 2023 more than it is 2020.
Well, that's what popped up.
Well, I'm done. I'm retiring Andrade Charlo. I'd like to make that.
Oh, my God, really?
Thank God.
Celebrate this.
Andrade moved up. Charlo staying at 160. I'm just letting it go permanently. Look, I'm going to go with something we talked about, Tank versus Ryan. 135 is white hot right now. We've got Kambosos and Haney potentially fighting twice in 2022. You've got all the belts over in Australia. Let's get the two most popular guys in the 135-pound division together in a fight that you will not need a judge for. Do not even assign judges to that fight because somebody in that fight is getting...
All right, here's the last 100%. One, guys.
100%.
Blank is one of the most exciting prospects in boxing. Sergio?
It's a good one. I don't know. Give me some.
Well, I mean, you got to fill that blanket.
Well, Jared Anderson is just so.
You can't give him the answer.
No,
I'll run the list down.
No, I mean, there's. I don't know. You caught me on that one.
All right, Chris.
I'm going to go with Keyshawn Davis. Got a big bounce off his performance in the Olympics. And he looked like a special fighter even before then, but I think his name recognition spiked after that. He's got all the tools. He's got power. He's got skill. He's in the right weight classes in that range, the lower weights. I think he'll do a lot of damage over the next couple of years. I was going to say Edgar Berlanga, but I'm a little off Berlanga these days, given the...
he's kind of a fringe contender now.
Berlanga, not a fringe contender. He's still like 23. Can't be a fringe contender.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I mean, maybe if Amanda Serrano fight, we'll get jabs on the DAZN Boxing Show Live. I like this little spat that these guys. Thank you for joining us as always, guys, man. Listen, you guys don't want to miss it tonight. That's right. Ryan Garcia versus Emmanuel Tagoe here on DAZN.
The feeling of knocking someone out for us regular humans who've never done that. Can you describe it?
Ryan Garcia making his way in. The flash, you know the hand speed. You know the smile, you know the power. This kid is a superstar. Can Ryan Garcia continue his rapid ascent? Oh, the pin sits the kid down.
Now we're going to see what this kid's made of.
I just want to prove to the world that I'm not here in boxing for a short time, I'm here for a long time.
Fight!
It's official. Ryan Garcia is set to return. He will face Emmanuel Tagoe on April 9th.
I'm not scared of nobody. Let's bring it.